Yo, what is up? We are yet back again here for another wonderful Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing good. It's NFP week, so quite a busy week. Not much has really changed. I mean, BTC is still ranging. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Yo, Falls, yo, Tony, what's up? We had Taco Tuesday in my house, and it absolutely slapped tonight, but it's kind of Wednesday, so after dinner vibes just feels a little off, but yeah. So this song is Midnight Club by Delacour, Delacour. It's a new one I found today. I actually really like it. It's very, like, chill, vibey, but we're gonna go to our mix for today. Today we have I was looking for like an instrumental mix, something that's not gonna have vocals, because sometimes like I'll get like a lot of really good like deep house or dub techno, and then eventually it'll come in like a vocal or something and just kills the vibe for me. So I found a lo-fi deep house instrumental lounge mix. I was listening to some of it before, just kind of skimming through, and it sounded pretty good, so we'll give it a go. See how the vibes are. But yeah, let's get into some charts now. Let me just get my stuff set up over here on my second window. Yo, Husky, what's good, man? No worries, bro. If you ever want, you can rewatch it later tomorrow. It does get recorded and posted on YouTube. So cheers for stopping by, though. So diving into the charts, looking at BTC first, still following the Cypher harmonic. Last week, we were looking at it on Wednesday down here at the lows. We were outside its range, and I was pretty confident at that time. I was like, oh, we're going to take sell side liquidity, probably go down. It was not the case. We ended up like rejecting from here, but then ended up getting back inside the range. We're now inside kind of like a, you could argue a unicorn setup. The only thing I don't like is we have these equal lows right here. You still have like more of this imbalance to fill. We haven't hit the first TP of the harmonic, so there's a lot of it that I'm not really like too crazy about. I want to see lower first, but then once we pop back in the range, I was like, okay. I was talking in the beginning of the week in Chroma about potentially like a move up higher, and of course that's when we made the move back down. We're now inside the imbalance. I don't really have a super strong read one way or the other. I could see the case for if you get above roughly like 29K, let's say, get a close above there. I would expect these highs and then higher to be taken. But if we do come back down, you definitely invalid sell side liquidity targets. I've seen some posts on Twitter about potentially like a market maker sell model. This is like your original consolidation, and you have like those relative equal lows as your draw of liquidity. Reaccumulation or accumulation, reaccumulation, smart money reversal, distribution, redistribution. You'll probably come up, fill maybe some of this imbalance they had, and then they were looking for lower. So NFP tomorrow and Friday, I think that's really where you'll be looking to wait and see kind of what resolution we get. If I'm going with my original bias, and considering that on the weekly we have yet to come down and really test that demand block from back here, I still think, yeah, this is untouched. So this giant order block here has yet to really be retested. I do have this weekly FEGEQ. We have a new month coming in here. The only thing is, I could see the bullish argument on the monthly. We did close outside of this monthly fair value gap here. It's a little hard to see, but ultimately it would be from 25.4 to 26.9. So we are looking pretty good here as long as we can hold above here for the next 2 hours. So really, I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other at the moment in time. But in terms of overall general bias, I'd probably still be looking for lower. Yo, thanks for the sub, Another World. Appreciate it. But yeah, third drive, or that 3 rising valleys scenario would still be nice going into July and maybe August, and then you get a rally in the fall. Maybe we just sideways chop for another 6 months. I don't know. Definitely not the greatest read here until we give some resolution upside or downside, taking these lows or taking these highs here. Then I'll kind of have a better understanding where I think trend's gonna go. But I'm also not really trading crypto that often. I do have a swing short on alt going, but yo, Maisie, what's good? So yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's my thoughts on BTC. Kind of very neutral biased. Going to ETH. I was originally looking for that bearish bias to kind of play out, and a lot of this, the thing I've noticed is a lot of times when I see these potential bats, they don't play out, or they kind of I used to short the bat action magnet move. Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you coming by. So yeah, I would like to see a deeper retrace, kind of deviation of range lows. But again, if BTC does start rallying from here, I do think that cards are still on the table for just kind of running at this point. You've been kind of accumulating here for a while. The Pepe bat. So I could totally see it just kind of big kind of buy model in effect. Hong Kong crypto event priced in. I don't know. That's tough. I haven't been following it too much, so I'm not 100% sure on the ins and outs. In terms of what crypto's really done lately, I mean, not Forex, Indices sold off, or Forex did sell off yesterday too, and Indices sold off. So definitely, I feel like it's just a more bearish tone right now in the markets. So I'm not sure, but I think again, this week will be interesting to see the resolution on Friday after all the news. So just kind of sitting flat for now in that respect. But yeah, you could definitely see us just climb and then eventually start ripping because we do have these high time frame draws. But I would also be interested if we came back down to that 1450 to 1530 area for a potential long. Yes, Levat, you got it right this time. And Euro actually has a harmonic too, I was talking about. But let's look at ETH BTC. Hold on, let me clean some of this off. There's a lot going on there. So we're looking on the weekly right now. Kinda, it was following it for a while, and now it's still kind of coming up here. I think if you start getting structure shift to the upside, this idea is dead. But as long as really you don't break this high, it still could easily come down to the 786. You'd have those relative equal lows. So I'm not going to cancel this idea out. You could definitely maybe argue where that curve is per se. I don't know. You gotta play around with it a little bit. But yeah, would still like to see this. And that would probably be something like that, maybe. So we'll see what we get in the next week or so. We are pushing up though. High time frame weeklies still I mean, like, yeah, you would argue bearish because here you had a break of that high, and then you continue to break lows. So until really you take, did we sweep this low? Yeah, technically you did, just barely. I guess once you take 7-1, that area, that's when I would be looking to maybe get bullish, but I think going down to 786 will eventually happen, just given the range and size of it. But yeah, not really too strong bias one way or the other. We are still at the range EQ. It's very just kind of twappy nature, just very slow accumulation upwards. Definitely better assets to be trading right now. How ripe that downtrend on ETH to BTC could be. Facts, honestly. I wish you could do, can you do polls on YouTube? I don't know, I guess not. I would love to be able to just run a little poll, like what do people want looked at in terms of like indices, crypto, forex, so I can like focus the time on that first. But I guess just running through my core stuff, and then we can take a look at some alts. Euro, oh man, look at that reaction. I pinged people earlier today in Discord at around, I think it was 4:06. Yeah, somewhere around there. I know there's a post in Chroma about it, but ultimately I've been monitoring this high time frame cipher for a while, and it got a beautiful reaction, to be honest. I wasn't looking to long it really given NFP, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have like bullish news for like indices, crypto, and that sort of thing. This could launch, in my opinion. You do have a lot of just straight selling, so you could see something like just another wave up, then you get like your 3 drives after taking buy side liquidity, filling some of this weekly volume balance, and then rolling over and dying. Dang. So definitely be monitoring it. We did also, oops, hit wrong button. We did, oh, look at that, right underneath and then back above the 200 EMA. Oof. I mean, in hindsight, like I'm like, oh, I should have punted the long down at like 406 and tight stop, and could have been, I mean, like a 2R, but, or even back up to the 200 EMA. But yeah, I think upside looks really good on Euro with Bitcoin. Just a newbie question. I mean, they're both against US dollar, so if US dollars is going up, they're gonna go down. They're not necessarily like the same percentage gain or loss. They obviously work differently depending upon one's a real life currency that people use in a foreign country, or at least in Europe, because I'm from America. And then the other is online digital gold, or a store of value, whatever you want to call it. Not to like shit on it, like it's does what it does, like it's wealth, it provides value to people, but it's not something that your grandma's going out and using on a regular basis. So yeah, they're not necessarily directly correlated, but I trade a lot of forex and indices, so that's also what I look at. But yeah, this looks primed for potential upside. Not a lot of, like, this is like your low resistance resting, or low resistance resting liquidity, I think is what it's called, or liquidity run. But ultimately, not a lot of these highs have gotten taken, because there's no real structure shift on the way down, and you do have relatively equal highs right up here. So I could see the argument for punting a swing. I don't hate it. I do have a swing account, so I'm like, the thing is, like, if I were to actually take a swing, I'd do it from below there. I mean, you still get like 2R. It's just like it would take like a couple weeks. I don't know. I'll definitely keep, like, I like to try to keep the high time frame stuff more in mind in terms of how I'm gonna frame my narrative. But yeah, this looks great for upside in my opinion. Pound took this liquidity, no longer a concern. We do have this big range kind of, if I take off this, I guess this trend line, no. Yeah. So locally, we are kind of retesting this range from back, basically all end of 2022 into 2023. Looks like we want to continue higher. This kind of seems to be a potential successful auction if we can get back above range highs, and then look to break market structure again. So I am favoring longs for the time being. You do have a weekly volume imbalance below, so maybe in time. But yeah, monthly already closed on this. This looks, oh yeah, let's look at the monthly on BTC and ETH will have their monthly in in like an hour. But these actually had their close today, so let me quick look at these. Alright, so this is where tone might change a little bit because this is a really bearish monthly. Very rarely, I think looking back at like previous months, you have what I think is you might get something like this, maybe where it pops up and then the next following months are down. So maybe we don't go fully for up here. I'm not sure though. It's tough read. But yeah, definitely pound looks better. We'll take a look at euro to pound in a minute because I've talked about that before and I want to mention that again. We do have this weekly fair value gap here. The weekly looks really strong. Potentially, I mean, like, I'm not going to be trading for the rest of the week due to NFP. Unless it's maybe like an early, quick M1 scalp that I can be like in and out of or closed ahead of the news, but I do not want to like hold anything ahead of time. But yeah, you have local equal highs here on the daily. Clean buy side liquidity is also previous weekly high. So if you are able to flip range high here, that would be a great target to look for in terms of follow through into the evening. Yeah, 3 highs basically right here. I guess like if you want to be safe, target the first internal one around 124,694. But yeah, that's kind of the read right now. Definitely looking for a bullish second half of the week for pound. And kind of going into why like this thing is a massive Gartley harmonic that I've been monitoring since I think it was like back here, January, early this year, and we're almost there. So pound will be in control for the time being, and then once we get down to the PCZ, euro, I would look for longs. So maybe if we come back to this, we get like a confirmation low, and at that point, euros now hit the PCZ. I'm super bullish here, especially if you're getting back above this daily 200 EMA. But yeah, that's kind of my bias on Forex. Bullish on euro and pound probably for the rest of the week. I'd say low of the week is likely in. I'm not going to like guarantee anything. You never know. But just given the weekly profiles so far, given how price action's shifting up on a lot of alts and everything, I could see it potentially being in for the week. We'll see how NFP affects it though. So I got rid of the vocals, but now I got this weird like monkey sound in the back. Quick looking at indices. I was just doing some markups before on the chart. I did it on Monday, or not Monday. I wasn't here Monday because of Memorial Day. I was out with my girlfriend. But yeah, ultimately Tuesday I was marking up. Kind of my thought was come down here. I thought we were going to tap into this hourly BPR and then kind of bounce from it. We bounced a little bit ahead of that. But since then now we've tapped pretty much basically where I was looking for. Reclaim the 1 hour 200 EMA and are holding this BPR. We also formed a more local BPR right here. So that's kind of my point of interest, I guess, now for short term. Again, not really trading this week, just doing tape reading just so I can stay fresh in terms of perspective and bias for next week. Definitely going to be looking to get my hands dirty. Got 2.5 weeks left of teaching, and then full swing with full-time trading this summer. But yeah, this I think as long as this 200 EMA holds and we start breaking some highs going up, we could easily see a reclaim of the new week opening gap. I would expect a very if NFP is bullish, I would expect this to absolutely rip through there. You do have external buy side liquidity here at relative equal highs right there, and then from there, no, that one's been taken. You would have the buy side liquidity around 4,300 with your weekly volume imbalance right there as well. NASDAQ already had taken it. Down here, we retested it perfectly as support last week. I'm kicking myself so much for it because it held up really nicely. But we do have this weekly BPR that, again, is still my high time frame draw. I think NASDAQ will be a little bit more downwards. I think ES is going to be playing some catch up right now. So definitely more bullish on ES comparatively. But we'll see what the two give. But yeah, as long as that BPR holds, I'll remain bullish. If we lose that, though, you're probably going to come down and take lows. You do have a lot of liquidity here, so I'd potentially be looking for that to be taken. And then you do have some... Whoops. Where'd it go? Yeah, you have like 2 or 3, or these two are equal untaken. This one got swept barely here. But yeah, still some lows you could take before potentially going higher. Kind of like your broadening megaphone pattern, or like that one that people like to trade. So maybe you get like something. I don't really do like retail patterns like this, but I could see how maybe was this 4 hour, you come down, next week we come down here, everyone like bugs out, they think we're going to be going for this low, you don't get all the way there, you reclaim, then you get some sort of like market maker buy model, and then you finally go up for that volume imbalance. So those would be like the two kind of scenarios I would be looking at. I do still hold a bullish bias. It wouldn't really be until you got to probably close below here, then maybe I'd shift my tune a little bit. But yeah, definitely looks pretty good. And look at that, you'd have your daily 200 EMA right there, quick little retest. So yeah, I could see the argument for either or, but I am leaning more bullish. We talked about NASDAQ really quick. We'll take a look at Dixie. So Dixie, I have like 3 different things right here, or 4 different things. It's like the Omega thing. We have a old FVG that is now like an area where I would look for it to be support. We have this current FVG here. We have this tiny volume imbalance here, like between those 2 candles, and you have the 200 EMA. So I can't really see us like just nuking through it. I could see a pullback today and tomorrow. Maybe you get something like that, and then next week is when we finally go up, because this also has a volume imbalance right above buy side liquidity, so it's almost in tandem with ES, to be honest, which you could get like an inverse kind of move before it then taps into this monthly fair value gap, and then we look for downside. But yeah, this would be my short-term draw up here, but this is where I'd be looking for it to hold support and then flip back bullish. Let's quick look at gold. It's one of the other ones I've been checking out a lot lately, and then we'll take a look at some alts. So gold on the hourly has a beautiful market maker buy model after taking liquidity from the weekly fair value gap. Broke structure back to the upside. This is also a really clean like PO3, your accumulation, manipulation, expansion. We have kind of like a Judas swing here. that's now been taken and holding as like support. And then we have this little hourly fair value gap. You can see it almost retested again here, filled that, have a little volume imbalance here. Maybe we come back down, retest that 200 EMA before then going up higher. But I still think the draw is to the upside for gold, with the weekly fair value gap, buy side liquidity being your big target. So pay attention to this. I think maybe even come down, take some of these lows. The only thing about this though is there is a bit of overhead resistance with that 4-hour 200 EMA. There is a nice daily fair value gap that is a nice draw of liquidity alongside the weekly fair value gap, so it might be a little choppy getting up there and a lot of kind of like sideways before then you get that move. But that's what I would be expecting. Maybe though, like I'm trying to think like what's the bearish argument here. So here's a bearish take for you. Not saying it's gonna happen, but maybe this is your high time frame point of interest. Then on like the hourly you would have or maybe not even hourly, but you get some sort of smart money reversal. This is your accumulation, this would be your original consolidation, and then you get a sell model. So not too sure. I'm leaning more bullish, though there is that 4-hour 200 EMA, which I could see causing some resistance. But yeah, this did sell off a decent amount since doing this, and it's also in this kind of range-like behavior. Let me quick look at the fixed range volume profile. Okay, so it's almost like a failed auction. Your point of control is right around there. You have that 4-hour 200 EMA, so I would argue upside's more likely, but I would be monitoring it closely for potential reactions, and if it starts getting bearish, I would look to cut if you're trying to long towards this objective. But enough for that. Let's jump into some alts. Go through my core stuff, starting with Algo. Algo does not look great. This almost kind of looks like a it's a little too deep. It might just get by a 272. So you can make an argument about this being like a butterfly. It's a little bit deeper than you would like. The PCZ is right around. Well, it can also go to the 1618 or 14. Hold on. I'm not gonna pull it up right now, but I think it's 1414 or 1618 for the most it can go to. I don't know. You're at basically new lows though, at least on the perp chart, so not great. APT, okay, APT is actually looking interesting here. We didn't ever get back above that 200 EMA, but we are slowly coming in on the sell side liquidity. I would like to eventually, you have relatively equal lows right below, nice draw liquidity. So definitely more bearish on this. You did take this high here. So this looks really nice for a short if you were to short this. And I'm not going to take this, but how you could potentially size it up. I'd probably just toss. No, I'd probably play it tight because like you did just sweep the high. This would be what, like 2R. Probably front run it a little bit. Something like that. Come back next week, see if it hits. Adam, ooh, it's just slowly, it's teasing. Those alerts have yet to be tagged. Every week I talk about this though. The double harmonic special coming very close to our PCZ. Yo, E-Man, what's good? All is well. We're just looking at some alts. Adam looks super primed. This would be, again, If you're new here, I talk about this almost every stream. This is like the one spot play. I'm looking to get something like this that we had Cypher. I'll show it in a sec, but here we have a Gartley into a bat, or potential bat. So I'm looking to hold this to like $69 basically for a 17R swing for like a 600% gain. So definitely a lot of potential upside. But looking back into 2021, what we did, beautiful Cypher, the one we were just looking at on Euro. It's the same harmonic, and look what that did. So don't hate on them. It very well could happen because these are a lot bigger too. So I'm expecting like a bigger sized reaction, but we'll see what we get. BNB's very boring at the moment, honestly. I would probably just be looking at it almost as like a range here. Maybe even a little bit further back, probably something like this. That would be like my range. Yeah, so just basically at the EQ, you do have some sell side liquidity objectives. So I'm a bit more bearish on this, I think, than BTC. It doesn't look like nearly as good. So Doge, just bearish. There's not much to say on this. It's not something I trade regularly, but again, if I ever got below this level, I'd be looking to potentially build like a small spot bag just for fun, for a potential big multiplier, but I'd be more focused on algo. Kind of off topic, if they prove the debt ceiling thing, would that be bullish for indices? Honestly, I was thinking about that before. I think if it gets approved, that's gonna be bullish, because my whole take is like, if it doesn't get approved, that's not good for like our economy long term. Again, like, I'm not an economist, I'm not a financial advisor, so like, don't start placing bids on what I'm saying. But my whole take is like, if it does pass, that means they were able to like put it off, continue like for worrying about it for now, and then the economy can just kind of do its thing. But if it's not going to pass, that's obviously not a good thing. So that, I think, would be an issue. Then your indices, crypto, everything would kind of sell off. So that's also a big factor, too, to consider besides even NFP this week. So definitely be careful with trades. Back to some alts. Yeah, no, they literally have been just pushing it off. I agree, but I don't know. I can't see them like not passing the thing for the time being. ETH, like Ethereum Classic, looks garbage. It's just not bullish. Like, you look at an alt like this, that's bullish. That's great. Even though we're down, you're still getting like bullish structure here. Look at that. This is a market structure break. Continuation, another market structure break. So really, as long as you don't come back below this low, you're good. 4 hour. It's above. Maybe a retest. But yeah, no, this looks nice. I don't know what your liquidity, what your target would be, though. That's my only issue here. You don't really have a lot of anything, and that's not really a convincing break for me. Because again, like, if you're not able to like be closing above the wicks of previous highs, because this is like arguably a swing high. It's a higher high than the previous and the next candle. So like, if you're not able to close above it this week, that's an issue. But definitely looks better than other alts. LDO, are just kind of retesting, holding that daily fair value gap. Above the 200 EMA, very rangy. I think ultimately this is kind of your area of interest, where this will probably be support or resistance, and then you come down and you range in between here. But yeah, for the time being, it looks okay. But again, like BTC starts dropping, that's when I would be worried. Mana, getting very, very close to that PCZ. Set some alerts in case we do come down. But yeah, this is a really clean Gartley, something I would love to bid, especially with this big imbalance where the fair value gap is. So fill that, and I might be game for like an alt play. Matic, I think this is just like one of those ones where you didn't take. I didn't end up. I probably played a little tighter than I would normally. But yeah, it did get a nice pump. It just filled this imbalance here, or actually there is an imbalance there because that candle, but you did fill this fully here for like 2.7 R, not bad. But yeah, as long as this order block holds, I would say you're in good shape for higher prices, especially a retest of the 200 EMA on the daily. Let's see, are we above the one? Oh, we are below that. Okay. Structure is okay. I would probably, like, if I was interested in trading this right now, I think looking for these lows to get taken, retest of this, and then look for a long here up into something like that, where you have maybe not that high, but maybe even here to fill that fully, or maybe you get lucky and you get a push above it into there's a tiny little volume imbalance here actually, so that'd be interesting target. There we go. That'd probably be a good target to shoot for. And you can almost play it like a kind of like a unicorn. I would be playing off the top of like this previous little order block. Did we raid the low here? No, maybe you have S&T with BTC. Not really. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I would probably look to play this just like below here. Get about 2.5 R. Not bad. Bam. That's Matic. Near. Oops. Wow, this thing looks cooked. See, this again looks like it just wants to go lower, like oh, come on. I wanted an instrumental mix with no vocals. Could not deliver. But yeah, we could go even lower on this. It could be another one of these and just fail to really perform anything. Hold on. There we go. So yeah. I don't know. It's a tough call. But yeah, but below 166, it's cooked. It's a key level. Render. Wow. So this thing technically did hit its pattern completion zone, if I remember correctly from the bat. Yep, literally, oh my god, look at that. 886, Banger. Spot on. And since then, we really haven't been able to do too much. We've kind of sold off, so I just don't. It's not the best looking bat. How do I have it? I have it on a different chart, a different way. Or is it marked up the same? No, it's a little. I take it from this low, I think. But yeah, if we got another drive, I think that'd be a great short. Just to clear the $3 area. And you have relative equal lows there, 200 EMA on the daily, but we might just sell off from here, and that might be it. Woo, you got it, Tony. Just give me 2 minutes. I got a couple more alts to go through, and then we'll take a look at Woo. Soul in another big range. Probably be here for a while. Monthly BPR. Not much to talk about. Sushi looks awful. Finally lost range lows on the weekly. Had a couple daily closures outside of it. Yeah, no, this doesn't look good. And expect lower prices from here. Kava. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, no. You're kidding. Oh, wait, no, I think we talked about this last week too. So we had this really clean cipher. It's a little scuffed. This should be a little bit higher. It should be like a minimum of I think a 1.13, but this is like close enough. It's just not like a textbook one. But the thing I like about this is kind of like a bat / Gartley, because it goes to that like 886 retrace right here, but it's more of a deeper 618 instead of just the 382 to 0.5 retrace. So as you can see, it sold off very harshly. We're now closing below this low, so definitely have a bullish bias on Kava. Expect probably some sort of like market maker sell model scenario to play out. Would expect roughly $1 area to act, or 106 to probably like 110 to be resistance for the time being. Total, and then we'll look at Woo. Total, still above the daily 200 EMA. Again, looks relatively similar to the Bitcoin chart. Weekly, above as well. So, like, the argument's there for upside. Like, it is technically bullish on those if you were to use that as your deciding factor for bull or bear, but we'll see. Not sure what really this is all marked up from. I guess we ended up taking those buy side liquidity levels. Okay. Did take that weekly, so is there any monthly targets before I... Oh, look at that. Okay. Oh, it's literally at the weekly too. All right, let's mark up some ice lines because I kind of am formulating a thought here on Woo. So those would be my ice lines in this scenario. Yeah, this swing low here where we have the closure there, the wick here, the wick here, and that's pretty much it. You can maybe argue like this, doing something like this wick back before that initial sell-off, because then like look here, you have the quick deviation and then the wick here. But yeah, those are like the key levels I would be monitoring as like support resistance. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. In order for me to want to be like, let's get long on this, I'd probably want to see a retrace down here, because this would be like a shark. It would be a great place to get one, because you want these big high time frame harmonics at like the bottom of these big ranges, because that's when you get the insane markups. And that's when like you get next cycle woo all-time high, taking out this buy side liquidity. Though I'm sure there might be a better place to chart this. Oh my lord. Yeah, so you have even 1.35. I'm not sure what would have the oldest data. Maybe Woo Network. Yeah, Woo Network would probably be the best place to chart this. Yeah, look at this. Holy cow. Oh, and if I plot... Alright, let me re-plot one or two things. Look at that. Beautiful. But yeah, ultimately, wait for that deeper retrace if we go back. Because then, like, even like a modest... What was the all-time high on this? 1.785. A 236 is from here like a 2.5x. But then like 1.785. Is this the one I was looking at? So we're saying that like hold on. 0.78. All right, it's not perfect, but you get the idea. Yeah, the buy side liquidity here isn't even at the 382. So this thing could be an amazing swing play, I think, and I'll actually set some alerts to monitor this. I'll have to remind myself to go back on the Woo chart, but if you start coming down below 17 cents, I would look anywhere below 14 to, I'd probably say 11 cents would be where I'd be averaging in. Hard stop below 10 cents. All right, so that's my thoughts on Woo. But yeah, again, if we go back to something like Atom, again, you get these really nice structures kind of like at the bottom after like a big move, similar to what we had with Woo, and then they form. This one was a little bit smaller scale, but you get the idea. And then from there, it absolutely rips. Looking at another one, actually, because I think this had a really good example, if I remember. I know Mitch Ray used to look at it a lot. Not sure what's going on over there. If I remember correctly, yeah, I think it was like over here. Okay, so this would be a cipher You could maybe also plot it as like a Gartley, depending. Maybe if you did a like this is the high and then that was your first, second low. But I would take it from here because realistically, like this is the swing low before that move up. Whoops. Oh wait, I put it on the wrong one. Or even no, yeah, that's a little too deep. I gotta fix this. There we go. So you could even say, yeah, because this is spot on. This would be fine as like the bat 2, right? You have your 886 relatively right there. You got the strong reaction. You have the 0.5 retrace. This is within the 382 to 886. And then look from there. Come on, man! Like you're kidding. So that's the one thing that's nice with these with crypto, but they also happen in like other asset classes too. It's not just crypto. Go on the monthly on Forward. So this would be kind of like realistically it would be like the 786 because this would be more like a Gartley. It did go a little bit deeper, but like realistically you can see on the monthly time frame that is where the reaction occurred. Look at that. For all you boomers, from the COVID low, right? 500% increase in 2 years. Crazy. So yeah, that's why I like harmonics. Also, as a math teacher, I think they're very interesting. But want to open it up to you guys if you guys have any requests. Can be stocks, can be forex, can be commodities. We can look at cocoa. We can look at coffee beans. If anybody has any, I'm happy to take a look. Otherwise, I'll look to start kind of wrapping things up for tonight. Indices, not really doing too much right now, just kind of slowly making their way up. Same thing with Forex. Pounds now breaking out of that range. Could totally see it going to that buy side liquidity. It's only like 20 pips away. Cool. Alrighty. Well, if no one has any requests, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. In about 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be doing some live trading. Well, I mean, I usually always share my trades setups live or as quick as I can when I take them throughout the day. Average R a month. I did 23R last month. I did 11R the month before. Then I did 0R in March. I was break even. Hold on, let me pull it up. I have it in my Notion. Oops. Yeah, March was 0R, February was 18, January was 25. So typically I would say average mostly between 15 to like mid 20s, 15 to 25 on like a good month. But then like I haven't had any negative months so far this year in terms of like actually tracking and everything for Forex and indices. I don't really day trade crypto. Are funded accounts not a scam? Definitely not. I've gotten multiple payouts from FTMO. The only thing is you have to file your taxes at the end of the year because you do like once you get the actual funded account, you have to give over like you have to basically do KYC with the exchange. They give you basically invoices for what they pay you, and then you file that as taxes with your taxes. As I believe it's a 1099 because you are a client for them. Yeah, no problem, Finchie. Oh, since you're in Chroma, you'll get to see it this weekend. I will have video tutorials coming out for how to use the cipher and how to use the XABCD tool. The XABCD tool is the one we use for Gartley's, bats, anything that has a lower C than A. And then the cipher would be for anything, basically just the shark and the cipher, where you have a higher C than A. But yeah, you'll see that this weekend. Capital gains will income. Yes, you will likely need to KYC to withdraw, or at least I did for FTMO. You usually have to sign contracts and stuff before you get the account. I will join the. Can you pay with a credit card? We are Actually, I have to double check. We have a marketplace. Hold on, I'll see if I can put the link in chat. Give me 1 sec. If False is still there, maybe he has it handy. If not, just give me like 2 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Alright, here we go. You wanna handle manually? No. Looking forward for those. Yeah, man, it's gonna be really cool. Let me quick show you, Ray. So on, what was it? Yeah, so here's the 3 different tiers for membership. 100, 250, and 400. They were the May special that we did for 1 year. You can see like reviews from people, kind of talking about it, what it is. I don't know though. I'm not gonna like make an account and stuff, but you'd have to check. You might be able to. If not though, I know for a fact you can pay with crypto. But I know we are working, if it's not already set up, I know we are working on implementing card payments, so that way it's set up for like reoccurring and stuff. But yeah. But otherwise, yeah. Hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Please be careful with NFP tomorrow and Friday. Don't want to blow your accounts. And yeah. Hope to catch you later next week. So the thing, I'll just be very straightforward. We are not a like signal service. Most people or analysts on our team, like I know Fall shares a lot of his trades live that he does in his stream. I try to share probably 9 out of 10 trades that I take live. Sometimes there's like I think earlier this week on Tuesday, I took a Euro long. I think it was actually, I can quick pull it up. It hit the TP within 5 minutes, and it takes me a couple minutes, like 30 seconds or so to type everything up. It was this one. So like by the time I had gotten filled, it had already pumped up here, and I was like, I'm not gonna like post a trade for people to follow like that, but I usually try to give them, especially if they're like higher time frame ones, when I post it. I'm sure if you followed blindly, you may make that R, but I'm not going to guarantee it, nor am I responsible for your trading and stuff. We simply share it so that you guys can learn from it in the moment, and look at it, compare your own analysis and thoughts to it, and then decide if you want to take a trade like that. But yeah, we're definitely not like a signal service. We're focused primarily on trading education. We do mentoring. We have classes that we're now offering that are like one-on-one, or not even one-on-one. They're like team-based, but you get like a more selective mentorships. We have weekly VCs. And what I was going to mention before I wrapped up was that once I finish teaching for the year, I will be going back full-time trading. So I'll be doing live trading in VC probably daily or probably every other day, so that way people, instead of me having to like type up the setups, if they're following along, they can just kind of follow directly from Discord, and just do it that way. But yeah, definitely check it out, or reach out to us on Twitter if you're interested, and we can see what we can do for you if they're not taking card payments yet. But yeah, we'll end it there. Indices looking decent here. Again, just need to see some more upside. Realistically, short term, you need to get above this 5-minute and 15-minute 200 EMA. The rest of the time frames you are above and looking pretty good. So if you can clear those, bull trend in my opinion is back on for short term, and I would like to see a flip of the new week opening gap before potentially higher targets. All right, crypto kind of looking the same, but we'll see what ends up happening. I'm gonna end it there. If you guys saw in my stream now on the under my face cam, it says funded next. I'm currently partnered with them. Some of you may have realized if you saw on Twitter, I have like the affiliate thing now in my profile. So I am currently doing a giveaway. I will link it in the chat, so you guys, if any of you are finding me from somewhere other than Twitter or Discord, you can go there, and all you have to do is like, retweet, follow these 2 accounts, and comment that. A winner will be picked on Friday. Right, roughly there's about 153 people going for it, it looks like. So yeah, I recently checked them out. They seem like a very interesting firm, and offered me a good partnership, so I had to take the opportunity. I do like their challenges and everything. Liquidity problem in Forex for large accounts. So typically you're given a demo account 9 times out of 10. So I haven't ever really had issues with like my order not filling. The bigger issues you get is like slippage with the spread. But like for me on FTMO, typically the spread on euro and pound is anywhere from like 2 to, like pound can sometimes be like 5 to 6, but usually euro's like 2 to 4 pips or ticks. And then if I'm like, indices is usually like almost little to none, maybe like 30 cents if that. Indices is pretty good. But yeah, they have 3 different account types. Stellar I think is like the cream of the crop right now, and it is the one we're giving away, I believe, the $15,000 account. You get to keep 15% of the profit from phase 1, which is a huge dub. Even though it's small, it's still nice. You only have an 8 and 5% profit targets. You do have up to 10% drawdown, 3% lot per trade. You do get 90% profit split, so it's like technically better and cheaper than FTMO. I just am curious, like they do allow news, weekend holding, trade copying. So if you have multiple accounts, it's very appealing to me. I'll be getting an account with them within the coming week or so. So I'll likely be doing a free trading session where I share all my trades live in Chroma, or I try to share all of them for the account. So yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll wrap it up there. Didn't mean to shill too hard, but I do love Chroma. I stand by them. I've been working with Flawless and known him for over the better half of the past year. Amazing dude. He's really built something incredible. And the team all work super hard to really provide a great educational community for others. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, definitely check it out. And if you're looking for a new prop firm to check out, I would take a look at Funded Trader, or Funded Next. Sorry, not Funded Trader. That's a different one. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Just have a quick sip of water, stay hydrated. But yeah, hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe, don't blow up your account, and I'll see you next week. Peace.